Hey, what's up? It's Kyle here. I want to give my quick thoughts on Raw last night from my live perspective. I have to say, from top to bottom, uh, from considering from WWE's perspective, getting what we got here in Chicago the other night on Raw, I thought Raw was a solid show. I thought the matches and the booking and the way things were booked in sequence, I thought was good, and I thought the show as a whole was great, and in saying that, I thought Raw was enjoyable enough to where you really did not miss seeing CM Punk, at least on this episode of Raw. You really didn't. I know that you guys know me. I'm a passionate Punk fan. Punk is my number one favorite wrestler in this generation. Punk is one of their bigger stars, merchandise sellers, and Punk. You may find someone to put in Punk's spot, which I think is safely to say is now Daniel Bryan. But no one's ever going to be CM Punk because Punk is Punk. You know what I mean? It's just like saying no one's ever going to be John Cena or Daniel Bryan because they are their own person. They are who they are. That's what makes them popular and famous. So even though Punk, here in his hometown, we all chanted for him, his presence really was not missed too much, I feel, considering what we got, because I thought Raw was a solid show. His presence being lacking and not being there, I don't think hurted the show in any way. To sum it up, the first match we got was Usos versus the Outlaws. Good tag team match. Everyone had fun with it. I know we did do some chants of boring and CM Punk and all this other stuff. Do not take that literally, because everyone in the audience was just saying that just to be saying some crap, because everyone did enjoy that match. Everyone enjoyed the tag match, and we even popped when the Usos won the tag titles. So for anyone who thought that we literally did not enjoy that match and just being disrespectful to the wrestlers there, we weren't. I actually felt disappointed that when Road Dogg didn't do his roll call. I was so excited and ready to do the tag team champions of the world, and he didn't do it. And he's like, "You guys are from Chicago, and you don't deserve to hear me spit my rhymes." And I'm like, "Oh, come on, Road Dogg." But he's being a good heel, doing what he does best. But again, I am surprised that they put this on Raw, because it was reported that we were supposed to have a fatal 4-way tag match with the Outlaws as defending champions come WrestleMania. Now, they could do that again. They could still do that, have that plan with the Usos as the defending champions. But it does make me wonder, though, did they change this part of the plan just because they're in Chicago and absence of Punk, etc. Raw did get hijacked. It did. It got hijacked even before the show started. People were chanting CM Punk, and we want Punk, and we chanted CM Punk throughout a lot of the matches. If you go back and watch it on TV, I have yet to see it on TV, but we chanted Punk throughout the entire 3-hour show. We chanted some yeses too, and Daniel Bryan, only when Daniel Bryan came out. But when Daniel Bryan was not there, we chanted CM Punk. So Raw did get hijacked, and I even found it interesting that both Cena and Bryan, and I think maybe even Triple H, acknowledged it. Or acknowledged Raw being hijacked, and hearing that it was going to be hijacked and all this stuff. Shield versus the Wyatts, solid match. The Shield and Wyatts are the only two heel factions or groups I know that get huge pops. You guys know, Chicago, we love our heels. Everyone to the Wyatts, everyone pops for the Shield, and I got to say, Roman Reigns, that dude's a stud. I mean, I got a really good look at him the other day, and that man just oozes like superstar. He may not be the best wrestler in the world, and we have yet to see what his in-ring ability is, but that dude is a superstar. He has the look. He has that it factor just based off look alone. Seth Rollins was killing. Looked like he was killing he was single-handedly by himself, just beating up the Wyatts by himself. And it was shocking and very interesting to see what he did to Dean Ambrose. It kind of puts the stigma in the back of your mind. What if Seth Rollins is the one who causes the breakup of the Shield instead of it being Dean Ambrose? Because for so long, or for the past couple of months or year, we've seen a little bit of distinction between Roman and Ambrose. And Ambrose always being the one to cause the group to, you know, suffer a loss or whatnot. So, and then because of all of that, everything's been surrounded between Ambrose and Roman. Rollins kind of gets stuck, you know, gets on the back burner a little bit and gets pushed back a little bit. So by Rollins doing what he did last night, kind of makes the perspective, kind of puts him on the forefront now and kind of say, okay, well, maybe he's going to be the one to cause the Shield a breakup. Maybe he's the one that turns heel, and Rollins and Ambrose are baby faces. Don't know. It'll definitely be interesting, as it will keep as it will keep Seth Rollins just as relevant with the other two members, because I think he is a bona fide key future main eventer, just like the other two are. What else? Daniel Bryan versus Batista. Interesting match. I do find it interesting that they will put those two together in Chicago, yet alone have them wrestle. I think that was maybe a testament to something. Maybe in the future, a Batista-Bryan match. Just saying. But it wasn't a bad main event. Batista could work with Daniel Bryan. Vice versa, Bryan can work with anybody. But, you know, it takes two to tango. You know, not everything is just solely built on one person. And I have to give Batista credit. He did well with Daniel Bryan. Because that was kind of a concern of mine. So I didn't think Batista would be able to keep up with Bryan, but he did the best he could. Speaking of Batista, though, it's one thing I will say about Batista. Whether you hate or love the guy, one thing I do like about Batista has always had this expression on his face since he's come back. But he's always had it where he has this look on his face where he just does not give a fuck about what you think. And it's like, he carries this look about him. It's just... I actually, in my personal opinion, I mean, regardless of whether you hate Batista or like him, I find it admirable, really, that he has this look on his face where he does not give a what you think. I kind of wish more people would kind of have that attitude in the world about their jobs and about themselves and feel self-confident enough about themselves. I kind of like that about Batista. I will not take that away. So you had that. What else? Boy, I feel bad for Stephanie. Stephanie got booed. She got more worse boos than Triple H and John Cena the entire night. But all in all, I thought it was a great show. The entire crowd was hot. We even chanted for Ziggler. And I also found it interesting that they put Del Rio and Ziggler in a match, because if you guys remember last year at Payback, I told you when Ziggler lost the world title belt, people were pissed off, and you know there were people behind me screaming bullshit when Ziggler lost the match. So this was kind of like making amends right, I guess, for that mistake or whatever, to appease us, because we were happy for Ziggler when he beat Alberto Del Rio. That was very interesting. That was cool as well. So yeah, all in all, I thought it was a good show. I had fun with it. You guys let me know what you thought about it. I do have some more videos that I recorded during the show that I'll post up during the week on my page here. I will post up little snippets and stuff. And I gotta say, I mean, Bryan is over like a mofo. I mean, the entire crowd was hot for Bryan. If you saw the entrance video, and I have some more videos of people chanting for Daniel Bryan, the crowd was just absolutely hot for Bryan. The guy is over like a mofo. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, but ridiculous in a good way. Also, too, though, they did tell us, because they're having Payback again, don't know why, this year in Chicago. So they gave us some free codes where we can go and purchase our tickets in advance for the June 1st pay-per-view of Payback. That's going to be awesome. So, yeah. You guys let me know what you think about Raw the other night. What are your thoughts? What are your highlights, lowlights? We also popped for Brock Lesnar, too. God, that man is so beastly. He's so huge. Brock Lesnar he's a guy you do not want to bump into in the middle of the night. I'll just say that. Brock Lesnar is a one big mean looking dude up close in person. So yeah, you guys give me your thoughts about Raw, thoughts on this video. Yeah, so comment, subscribe. Peace.